What is up, everyone? I am here today with my client, Mickayla. She's incredible, and I wanted to bring her on because A, she's had some really cool results in our program. B, she's super smart and awesome as a coach. And C, I'm just excited to talk to her about kind of what she's done and how it's gone. So, Mickayla, welcome. And I guess tell us, like, who are you? What do you do? How long have you been doing this? And yeah, give us a start.
So as Samim said, my name is Mickayla Stoner. I am an executive fitness and nutrition online coach. I help CEOs and business owners, high achieving individuals lose weight, shed unwanted fat. I use a holistic approach to do that, and I help them do it in order to be able to live a healthy, fulfilling life where they aren't living in a gym doing hours of cardio a day and without restrictive diets.
I love it. So tell us, I guess, before you start with us, like, what was your biggest challenge in your business and kind of getting more of these types of clients and or selling them?
Yeah, my biggest challenge in my business prior to starting Samim's program was I have been a personal trainer and a nutritionist for the last 12 years. And I had a very successful, thriving business with my in person clients. And I had even taken a good chunk of clients online as well, but I wasn't able to portray the value of an online program in the way that Samim's program was able to help me do. So my biggest challenge was honestly time. I didn't have any more hours in a day to devote to online training and or just online coaching in general and consulting, and I really needed to get out of my in-person sessions so that I could be home more with my family. And we actually just moved to Florida so that we could do this full time. And joining Sameem's program and learning the sales approach and using LinkedIn and everything that we have learned so far, I was able to fully remove myself from in-person clients, and we left Minnesota where we were living, and now I don't have any in-person clients anymore and I'm fully online.
That's awesome. I love it. It's been really cool to watch you because you've been a part of other programs before, and so nothing makes me happier than to see someone who's like you regularly invest in yourself. You're a sharp person. Like, I love it when someone's like, you're aware, you're intelligent, you put in the work, and you still got value from a perspective that was like truly specific for you. And that's really what I hope for people, because I think there's a lot of misinformation where I don't care how many programs you've taken, if you have the wrong information, you have the wrong information. So I would love if you could just share, like, what was your experience kind of in other programs, and what would you say the difference has been here in your ability to, like, get the right help and really the shift? And then how much have you made, like, just from what we've taught you up to this point?
Yeah, so I definitely am not a stranger to investing in myself and my business. I had invested in multiple coaches and programs prior to joining Sameem's program, and I never got the one-on-one accountability that any of those programs had promised they were going to give prior to me jumping into them. They would throw you into a course, and then it was pretty much just a self-taught course of going through all of the information. And then they told you that you had one-on-one support with coaching, but then they would hand you off to one or two coaches that were like way down the pipeline from even the coach that I was initially signing up with. And I truly didn't really feel like I was getting the value that I had signed up for with those programs and with those coaches. And with this program, it has been a 180 difference where, yes, there is a ton of information that I've been given. But at the end of the day, the one on one support with both you, Sameem, and also with Jeremy, the other coach that you have on your team right now, I get just as much value and help from him that I do from you. And that's really where the bread and the butter of this program has been, is that I invested in you guys and your coaching tactics. And I really actually got coaching on top of all the other added value that comes with the course and the other information. The one-on-one calls were great, like 1 to 2 a week, every single week. And then you guys also offer the group coaching calls every single week, which are super helpful to get on with the team of all of the other coaches trying to do the same exact thing. So I honestly, like, I've talked to multiple people that were getting ready to jump into this program that just randomly messaged me and wanted to talk to me because they knew I was in your program just to see what I thought. And all of them, I told them, like, hands down, I am so happy that I invested and jumped into working with you guys. And so far, I have made 33,000 in the first 6 weeks I did, and then since then I've made a total of 41,000 since joining.
That's awesome. I think it makes me so happy because I feel like so many people pay for like programs. They're not buying, they're not getting the expertise though. And I think there's a big difference, and you nailed it, is like you're a smart person. Like when I see a smart person not getting value, there's a problem with the information or the way something's being taught. Because even just watching you go through this, you execute perfectly, you're very aware, you're very intelligent, you understand your stuff, you're a great coach. And when somebody doesn't give you value, what are they giving to other people? Right. And so that's what I always think. I'm going like, you're the person who can extract value and succeed probably anywhere. And if you're not getting what you need, that makes me wonder, like, how is an entire program set up? Because that means other people are failing far below you in other programs and you're performing, right? And so that's what kills me, is like, you can have anybody say you'll get one-on-one coaching, but who are you actually talking to? Are you talking to the expert? Or are you talking to people who are experts? Because if you're not, if you're so far above the person you're talking to, expecting value from them, that's where the disconnect happens. I feel like on a lot of programs, they'll like put a coach in place who's not very qualified to coach, but because they're cheap,
Right.
right? And I'm sure you've
Right.
experienced. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, it brings this up because so many people buy into programs where they're sold one-on-one, but they don't realize that when you're not paying for expertise and like real knowledge and like true support based on your unique situation, then one-on-one support means nothing, right? It's like kind of putting a body in place. And so now I'm so happy to see you've done well. And I feel like you just have all the right elements personality wise, and you have the right awareness and expertise. But also, it's so cool to see how much depth like it takes to really achieve. And I think people are missing that 10%, which you could actually access here, which is really cool to see. But yeah, so
Yeah.
if you were to talk, I guess if you were to say, what do you feel like the biggest needle was for you, like in the business side so far, for you to truly understand how that perspective shift was? Like, what was it that we did on our calls that really helped you the most?
I think it was definitely fine tuning my sales approach and what I was actually doing. I know I'm a qualified coach. I know that I know how to talk to people, but it was the process and the strategy that you guys taught me. And then honestly, one of the most helpful things was me being able to record all of my closes and my call ones and my call twos and being able to send them to you guys as a team, and you guys being able to give um, criticism, honestly, like, which is something that's just needed in this industry. Is if you are somebody who's susceptible and welcomes somebody giving you criticism so that you can actually be coached. And if you're coachable, then this is the perfect program for you, because you need somebody that's going to sit on the other side and say, I've been through this before and I know what I'm doing. And these are some of the things that you need to tweak and change in order to become more successful. And I really feel like I did not have that fine tuned coming into this program. And now I just get on my calls and I'm so confident, and it runs smoothly because now I have the process down. And if you're exuding confidence on your calls and you know exactly what you're doing, the combo just is going to work, and you're going to close calls, and you're going to be more successful as a coach.
You know what's interesting about what you said? I feel like here's what's interesting. There are a lot of people out there who say, like, be a better coach, be a better coach. You're an amazing coach. And being a better coach isn't actually the key to success. And I hate to say that, but like, once you're a good enough coach and you care, the rest is actually how do you attract the right client. And I feel like a lot of people out there, they almost frame like marketing and sales focused programs as like the quick fix, and like coaching as the long-term solution. But like, from your experience, like, what have you seen? Like, I feel like you've gotten all the certifications, like you've done a lot. What do you feel like is the gap for a lot of coaches? And they don't realize, because I almost feel like a lot of, like, there are people who are teaching like a lot of CEUs and all these certifications, and they're framing like sales and marketing as like the bad thing. From your experience, like, what do you see as the gap for a lot of coaches who have done a lot of certifications and who are trying really hard?
Well, I think it's the same thing that I was struggling with. It was the missing piece for me as well. And you kind of hit the nail on the head. Was you can be the most certified, qualified coach. I used to work with professional athletes, and I know what I'm doing on the coach front, and I know that I care deep down inside. I can't tell you that I think I know anybody else that cares more about their clients than I do. At least personally, that's how I feel. But from a marketing and sales standpoint, I didn't have that. I didn't go to school for it. I don't specialize in it. I didn't think it was my strong suit. And honestly, leading up to joining your guys' program, I was almost looking for a closer. I was looking for an appoint setter because I thought I want to find a company that's just going to do those things for me and I'm going to remove myself from the equation. And I'll never forget getting on the call with you and you being like, "No, you need to get good at that yourself before you appoint that and give it to somebody else. Like you have enough time in your day to learn how to do this and to still do the coaching." And so it was honestly really me having like swallowing my own pride and being like, I know I'm a really good coach, but also acknowledging the fact that I had a lot of room for growth. And then deciding that that's why I needed to invest in this program and jump in with you guys because I knew that I had developmental areas that needed to be strengthened. And that's what this program gave me. And I think that that's a huge gap for a lot of people. I have a lot of friends that are great trainers and coaches, and they don't have the marketing and sales aspect, so they don't know how to bring on new clients. They don't know how to prep their social medias and all the things that you guys teach us. They're missing that link there.
No, yeah, it's kind of crazy because yeah, there's obviously like different people market different insecurities, right? But I think like if we really look at the truth, like once without like the right offer and pitch, how would you even hand it off to somebody else and feel confident they're bringing in the right person? And let me ask you a question: of the people you brought in, are they people that you're glad you brought in? Like that's the real question.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I think too, this program has really showed me who is my niche. Who I thought my niche was actually is not my niche, because my niche of people that I want to attract in order to be able to close high ticket offers is not the niche that I thought I was actually working with or quote chasing. No, it's not about a chase. I'm doing me. I'm attracting clients, the right clients that are going to get me the high quality clients that I want, where I'm not chasing people to do programs and workouts, because now I'm attracting that client that is motivated, that is going to do their work, that does value expertise and a professional's advice, and being able to have that one-on-one consultation with me rather than me just creating programs for people that I feel like fall flat, like they're not even really doing their work.
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of price point, like what were you doing before? Like I know you were doing some Zoom workouts, you were doing like what were your price points for, and like what have you been able to shift to? And I'm curious, like, do you feel like you've provided more or less value? Because I feel like a big insecurity and fear is that when people start shifting from what they're doing to more premium prices and the right client, they're going to do more work, or they're afraid it's like going to go poorly. What have you seen has happened in your business since you made that shift?
Yeah. Yeah. So before starting this program and totally revamping my offers and everything, my online clients were anywhere from like 297 to 597 a month, for depending on what they were doing. And now my packaging is 4,500 for 3 months. So significantly
Yeah.
higher. On average, nothing less than 1,500 a month for my clients. And I really think one of the pieces that was substantial for me with totally changing my offer was just realizing that I don't have to put in all of these countless hours of creating the programs and all of these things. Like, I need to give more, I need to give more. No, I literally feel like I'm doing less work and I'm helping them more because I'm providing the right type of help that they need, rather than some of the empty, busy help that I thought I was giving them before, that I thought was really valuable. And on paper, yeah, it probably looks valuable, but my clients are getting such better results and one on one coaching and connection with me now than they were back then. And I feel like I'm doing less work, but I'm getting paid way better for it.
Yeah, it's crazy to think so many people, they just, you know what's even crazier? You've probably never seen a coach do the model you're doing until now you've done it, right? So it's probably very hard for you to believe this is possible. And I see a lot of coaches who they, because of the groups and the people they're around, they only believe based on what's in front of them. And so I think when you join a program like this, it is a big paradigm shift to believe it's possible before you do it. And I think you've done that really well. But think of how many coaches I see, they're kind of like, they just know another coach and they're like, I'm going to pick their prices, I'm going to do what they're doing. When you think like everybody else, you're going to get what they get. But now you realize people actually do pay those prices and they're great clients. And I think
Yeah.
unless you are a coach in our sphere doing this, you're never going to see that and believe it, because you're around people who are undercharging, who are underperforming. But if you feel like you're someone who's worth more and you know you give value, you need to get out of the environments that make you believe that's all that's possible, right? And I think that's crazy to see as well, is like you're very sharp and aware, and you only knew what you knew because of the environments you've been a part of. And so that's what's crazy, is realizing that like so many high value coaches are settling for bare minimum because it's what other people around them are doing. It's like just being in a bad environment. So like, it's crazy to me to see like that's a lot of the industry, but a lot of the premium side is kind of like looked at as, oh, maybe it's not ethical, but like in my mind, the most ethical thing to do is to truly help somebody and not just give them a bunch of filler information. So
And
yeah,
it totally changes to your clientele, because your clientele is also investing so much that they take it seriously. And so I feel like you both have this collaboration and appreciation, because you feel appreciated because you're not being paid $200 to grind, and they appreciate you because you're actually putting in the effort because you feel appreciated. So as a coach, it's honestly like this really great, beautiful relationship that you have with all of your clients after you start valuing yourself and charging more.
yeah, it's crazy how like people are worried on an ethical standpoint. I think it's the most ethical thing you can do, because you show up with even more integrity and like more responsibility, and people feel that. They can tell
Yeah.
the difference between you and another coach who feels like you're a number versus you being like, I'm so grateful you've invested in me, so I'm here for you 100%. And I think that's how most relationships would be. So if you're a coach out there and you feel like you give a lot, but you're kind of insecure, you're like, oh, what if I have to do this and this, and you don't know what to do, consider that like maybe the environments you've been a part of just haven't given you what you needed. And it doesn't mean the decisions you've made are wrong. It's just, this is a big paradigm shift. And even you know that, being an expert, right? And that's the crazy part. Like, you being an expert, you're just realizing this. Think about beginners are also like you, who are kind of going down the path of devaluing their services too early on in their career. And so what would you say to somebody, Mickayla, who's similar to you? And I guess, who do you feel would really benefit from this, who's in a similar position to you?
Yeah, I feel like coming in where I was, where I had put in the grind, which is like we were just talking about, so much of what the industry is all about is like grinding, 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 getting more clients, getting more clients. And this is better quality clients, really. And being a quality coach, I feel like somebody who would really benefit from this program would be somebody who has put in the time, who is a good coach, who is educated, who has a really good work ethic and is actually going to put in the effort of needing and knowing that they have room for improvement, honestly. And if they know that they are a really good coach and that they can get clients results, and that the missing piece is the marketing and the sales tactics behind it and how to actually be able to bring more clients in, I would say that that's probably the best person for this program. But I do think that given your personality too, being a driven, go-getting person who's smart and wants to work hard in order to, and has big goals, this is a good program for them.
No, I agree. It's kind of like if you're experienced and you're like ready for that next step, or if your nature is just someone who's like, I want this way of doing things, like it kind of both works. It's more about who you are, right? At the end of the day, like, are you somebody who has high standards and high output, and you want the best coaching and the best support? Definitely the right program. And I think it's just more, you have to make a decision, right? A lot of programs will give you information, but they won't give you like true expertise because they're trying to sell it. Whereas here we really try to like give and extract, like help you extract expertise that's actually relevant to you. So Mickayla, I just want to say thank you so much for being on. I'm super grateful for you. You're awesome. I can't wait to see what you do. And guys, I just wanted to bring her on because she's truly a great example of one of my favorite clients, and just someone who just does everything she says she'll do. She has very high integrity, follow through, and just a great person overall. And so if this resonated with you and I can help in any way, please let me know. But otherwise, Mickayla, thank you so much again. And I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Samim.